So welcome everyone. We are have a system that is very interesting to think about. And as we said, master of the ship, captain of the ship, master of the soul. This whole concept is very crucial because what happens in there is I'm going to talk about what we call as a breath symphony. And I just want to give a little bit of a thought process here. I'm sure everybody has gone on to all the elevators. You know, when you go on an elevator, there's elevator music going on. That music, how many people really notice the music? Not many. It's just that you just want to go from one floor to the other, and that music is there in the background. And that happens in many areas. The background music, for example, you go to I have that in my gymnasium. They have the music going on. There's some kind of radio. Some people put on some musical station is there. Their FM radio station goes on in the background. It continues to happen. Many times we don't even notice the songs, but it happens. That is what the body does, is a continuous happening that the body controls our breath. If something were to happen differently, the body will say, well, gee, speed up the heart, lessen the speed of the breathing, all that stuff. That's all controlled automatically. We're not aware of it. But as against that, go to a concert. And now what's going to happen is there's going to be all kinds of instruments, all kinds of stuff that is coming in that are playing. And then there's a conductor who conducts the music. And he has a complete capability of conducting whatever he wants to do, create all kinds of music. So we have that capability. And so let's begin by thinking about breath symphony. So let's try to understand the music. What is the music that is already going on? So just stand. I'm going to stand. If you want to stand, you're welcome to stand. Or sit in the chair. Doesn't really matter. You can do it either way. So let's inhale and exhale. Now, it's so simple. Brain and our life works very simple. It's very simple. Two things that are happening. Just inhale and exhale. That's it. But there are pauses between how long is it, how often it is happening, and there are pauses between inhalation and exhalation. So let's try this. Just do a normal inhalation and exhalation. One more. Now you may not notice it. I have not told you this, you won't notice it, but you are pausing at the end of exhalation. It's a very minimum pause, few microseconds maybe. How do I know that? Can we prove it? Yes, we can. Now let's do this. You follow with me, and without stopping at the exhalation, begin your inhalation very quickly, immediately. So let's inhale. Without pausing, you'll notice that slowly you're trying getting out of the breath because you're not stopping at all. If you do it a few more times, you start getting tired. When you do this enough number of times, you will notice that the amount of stoppage that is there, just a little bit of pause at the end of exhalation, is natural. That's built in. So when you breathe again, let's breathe again with a pause. You feel the difference in how you are breathing. Experience the difference. With a slight amount of pause, experience the difference. It's a much easier way of breathing when you have a little pause. Now that's normal. That's the way it is set up. Now, There's one center I want you to recognize. Let's do this. Go, move yourself a little bit more. Maybe run in place a little bit. Do a lot of, a little exercise, little, little physical work there. Move around, whatever you want to do, just a little bit extra than what you're used to do. And now that will bring up the heart rate a little bit. That will bring up the breathing a little bit up. Whatever you do now, what you want to do is now your heart rate is up, your respiration is up. Now we do a sigh of relief. So inhale, open your mouth and go. Relax completely. Sigh, big sigh. Let go. Let go of all the tension, stress, and everything, whatever is happening. Biggest sigh of relief. And you will notice at the end of the sigh, you feel different. You feel so relaxed. You feel the mind is empty of all the stresses. So sighing is a very effective way of getting rid of stress, getting rid of anxiety, relaxing, slowing down, getting the parasympathetic nerve going or the vagus nerve going. Sighing is a beautiful thing to do. So introduce sighing in your life. That's one of the things. Active sighing. Somebody will say, what happened? What happened? Why are you sighing? Well, are you stressed? Is that we ask that question. Well, sighing is good with intention. Now, there is a center in the brain. Interestingly, there's a center in the brain. It's a big name. It's called Bratzinger complex. Don't worry about that. It's a name. There's a center. It's called sigh center. It's next to the respiratory center. Sigh center. Sigh center is a built-in center. Now we're talking about creating music. This is elevator music. It's already there. It's built in. The sigh center sends out signals so that we sigh every 5 minutes. Every one of us does sigh every 5 minutes. Do you know that? No, you don't. We still sigh every 5 minutes. Now, why is that? That's because the sigh, let's do that one more time. Inhale, big. It collapses the air sacs. It empties out the air sacs completely. When it does that, actively it does that, it has better expansion, taking more air after that. And it stretches out the air sacs, and therefore the elasticity of the air sacs is maintained. In fact, people who are on ventilators, on the breathing machine, you may or may not know this, but the breathing machine has a built-in sigh. The doctor who manages the breath machine or ventilator can actually introduce, okay, I want 3 sighs per minute. I have so many sighs I need to introduce. You can adjust the sighs, because then people who are on ventilator for a long time, the lungs do not become stiff, you see. Otherwise, the lungs become stiff. So every so often, do a little bit different. Like Patricia showed us a different way of speaking, different way of breathing, with arms going this way, etc. These are the messages that we send from outside to our centers. That is what the orchestra is all about. We are controlling it. So now, sighing is controlling the whole orchestra that we have. The breathing orchestra, breath, heart, and rest of it, all the organs and hormones and everything. We have it's a whole orchestra, all the internal organs, all the systems that we have, the glands that we have, hormones that we have. We can control the orchestra. So now, what is the symphony part? So let's do this. Symphony part is a series of breath practices where gradually it will, in a symphony, it starts slow and then it starts expanding, and becomes very loud, and then it comes down. Expand, and all of a sudden you feel so good about that, how beautifully the music is expanding and what notes are expanding, whatever way, whatever the pitch and the note are going beautifully. And stereos are on, everything else. And then slowly comes down to an end. That is a symphony. So now, let's do this. Inhale and exhale. It's between inhalation and exhalation. So we'll do inhale, just a small amount of pause. Inhale and exhale. Now, there are two areas. One is the chest, belly, and the chest. So, let's inhale, belly out, chest out, exhale. Belly out, chest out, exhale. This is called the 3 steps. 3 steps to a breath. 3. 1, 2, 3. Small pause. 1, 2, 3. This allows a full expansion of the lungs. Now, when you go up, inhale, belly. As you go to the second step, the chest, this expands sideways. When you lift up and look up, few things happen. The ribs open up, the collarbones open up, so that the upper lung, upper ribs open up, upper chest, and the back shoulder blades, the scapula, they go out. When they go out, we have a lot more space for the ribs to expand. So let's do this 3 steps again. Inhale, 1, 2, then exhale, 3. So even the inhalation is divided into 3 steps. So again, let's do this. Belly, side of the chest, upper chest, open up and then smile. When you smile, these nares open up and get more air. Come down. That's a full breath. So let's do full breath twice first. Inhale again. 1. Bend back if you can. Exhale. One more time. Belly, side of the chest, upper chest, neck up, smile, arms out. Come down. Now introduce one more step. This step is holding the breath when you are up there. Okay? Holding the breath a little bit when you are up there, fully inhalation. So let's do this. Begin inhalation. Belly, chest, upper chest. Hold your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Just minimum stop. Go again. Belly, side of the chest, upper chest. Look up. Stop. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Now we'll introduce stop at the bottom also after exhalation. Let's begin. Inhale, belly, lower chest, upper chest. Look up. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. one more time. Belly, lower chest, upper chest, arms out. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Arms in, upper chest empty, lower chest empty, belly empty. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale normally, inhale and exhale normally. Twice. So what we did is we expanded our timings to hold up and hold down. What the advantages? When you hold up with inhalation, the oxygen is full. The alveoli or the air sacs are stretched, and good amount of oxygen gets to the body. When you hold after the exhalation, more oxygen can be given to the tissues with the CO2, the carbon dioxide starts building up a little bit. So now, let's do one more step to go beyond this. How can we go beyond this? Let's do from 5, we'll now hold to 7, both up and down. Now, those people who can do this to 7, please do. If you cannot do it, stay with 5, that's okay. We'll start slowly increasing this symphony part. In symphony, the music expands, okay, till it becomes a big stereo. That's basically what we're doing. So inhale and exhale. Twice. And let's begin. All the steps that we talked about. Inhale. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for the last time. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Hold. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale normally twice. Inhale and exhale normally twice. Now you can go more and add more. Beware that you can make sure that if you have glaucoma, high pressure in the eyes, or if you have active heart disease or something like that, then be careful. You do not go beyond a certain limit. Use of oximeter is really recommended so that you have an idea about what the heart rate is. Let's go to 10. One practice with 10. See how we can go to 10. Inhale and exhale. One more time, inhale and exhale. Deep breath. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Inhale. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale and exhale normally twice. Set it down. Now, what I'm going to talk about is something called cadence. Cadence is the rate of breathing. I'm going to introduce a concept. I don't think I announced about the chakra, but I think I'll do chakra later on. It's a little bit more involved. So I'm just going to go with the cadence part of it. Cadence is the rate, how fast you breathe and what is the rate. In symphony, we did two things. We did inhalation, hold, exhalation, hold. And after that, we can go backwards. For example, we can remove the exhalation hold first, the next step, then remove the inhalation hold next, and then come back to the three-step simple rhythmic breathing. SRB, simple rhythmic breathing, SRB, simple rhythmic breathing. So you can do that, and that's a symphony. That's your practice. And one of the recommendations that I will have is you practice on a regular basis. It's very easy to do, it doesn't take too long. But you can gradually keep on adding the seconds that you, each second, that was 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, that's 1 second when you speak like that. So 10, 9, that was my count. You can have a head count, you just keep it in your head and just count yourself. It's fine, that's also fine. You can take a stopwatch and do it too. However, gradually start building on it. So we have situations where we are able to go to 20 up holding and 20 down. It becomes tougher once you go down. But beware of the glaucoma part and the heart part, please, or high blood pressure, for example. Beware of that. So those people who have the active stuff, please do not extend too much. But you can build on this. And what's the advantage of building on this? The advantage of building on this is you are actually playing with the oxygen, amount of oxygen that is delivered to the tissues. You are also playing with the carbon dioxide. The carbon dioxide builds up a little bit more. The blood becomes a little acidic. The acidic blood stimulates the center up here. And that is called chemosensitivity. But supposing you allow the blood to become more acid and you still do not breathe. Now the center starts getting trained. Oh, okay, this is fine. It's okay not to do this because you're not afraid of it. You're not fearful. Everything is okay. Still, you're training the person. And you train in marathon running, for example. You run first mile, second mile. You keep on adding so that you get more resilience and more capacity to go longer. Same thing happens here when you practice breath like that. Same thing happens and you can build the capacity, you can build the resilience. What's the advantage of that? Well, the advantage is simple. Supposing you go on a hike or something, or you're climbing up steps, for example, ordinary life also, climbing up steps will become easier for you. Or you're going on, people go mountaineering and stuff like that will be easier. Exercise, fast exercise will become easier for you as you get into the breath practice. People who do diving, for example, or maybe swimming, will be able to do a little bit more breath holds as you swim more. Breath holding is also advantageous in for example, in cold weather, right now there's snow or something in Pittsburgh, there's snow. Here also it's like 6 degrees in Chicago, for example. When you start doing a little bit of extra breath holding, the body temperature goes up because it retains heat. It's retained heat and it will go up. So once you got training into that, you'll be able to generate more capacity to handle cold weather, for example. And even when you have cold, I used to do that when I had a lot of snow and everything like that. I would take a jacket and everything, go out on my deck. And when I do my breath practices, it came to a point when I had to remove the jacket. I became warm, and the body became warm. And this is actually does happen. In fact, in Tibet, for example, in Mount Everest area, Tibet, the Tibetan monks, they have those students that are coming in. And they have a particular type of breath. We're not going to do that right now, but it's called Wim Hof breath or fast breathing. And what we want to do is we want to increase the temperature. You handle the body temperature by breath because you retain the heat. You can retain the heat by adjusting the breath work. And they would actually have a test for these monks, the student monks. They would be given a wet towel. And they're actually, they put a wet towel on their back like that. They go out into the cold and they breathe until the towel dries up. That is their test. And it's just a story, but it's really true. That this is what they do in order to increase. They say that after breathing properly, you can increase the body temperature by 11 degrees Fahrenheit, up to 11 degrees. I mean, that's really a lot. But what I'm trying to say to you is, therefore, the breathing pattern or the breath symphony, in this case, can create any type of music you want, whatever you want to do. By adjusting the breath, you can do many things that you desire to do.